Hello, Dion the Tea Priestess here, Rough Sloan, Dion Rough Sloan, with my first Hobonichi Oracle Journal with me. And actually, today, what I was going to do is just share with you how I've set it up and how I'm using it so far. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to incorporate the journaling with the Oracle. Um, I kind of want to do pop-up classes, like invite you to bring your journals, and then we just kind of either write or draw or whatever in them. So I'm still fleshing out what I want to bring to this channel as far as changing up the oracles just a little bit, but I thought before it gets too much longer, I wanted to make a video. So I really missed you. Happy New Year. I hope that your holiday celebrations were wonderful, and I hope that you're easing into this new year with a lot of ease and grace. And so one of the things that is new to me, actually, I'm using these watercolor paints. I got this, and I got actually this one and this one, and let me show you what they look like. It's been pretty fun to kind of just throw some watercolor onto the pages, and you can see they have all their little pots in here. You have to unwrap them and everything. I put a little bit of tape underneath them because you can see there's a little bit of space. This one obviously is my favorite palette, but I do use this one as well. This one has kind of more darker muted colors, so you can see that. So I've been playing with these for just a few weeks now. One thing that my daughter, who is more experienced at watercolor, said is that if you're going to use these tin trays, you want to just rough it up just a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper, and so that way you can, if you're deciding you want to mix some colors or play with it a little bit, then it has a little bit more tooth and more grip instead of the paints beating up. I am really enjoying this. Like I said, this is a new to me thing. I just randomly got them for Christmas, and an aqua brush that I've been using. I'm also, because this is a water-based pen, and this is part of my visual coaching kit. I'm using the Neuland marker. This is a permanent. You can see it's 1 millimeter. The only place that you can order them is off of their website, unfortunately, but it was a professional expense, so I'm enjoying them. And then also I'm using my Pigma Microns. And so let me show you what I've done so far. Again, I'm using the English A6 version. Is that right? I believe so. The smaller one, not the cousin size, because the cousin obviously does not come in the larger size. So I'm still, like I said, I'm still moving in. I want to fill in the new moons, full moons, and wheel of the years. And what I'm also going to do is fill in the void of courses, because I want to start paying more attention to them. I have not filled in a lot of the oracle cards because I've just gotten back into doing daily oracle readings after I decided that I wanted to take a little break during the winter. So what I have done, though, you can see here I've begun to play with the watercolors. And one thing I said that I wanted to do was to use the monthly pages as vision board pages. So I was thinking that I was going to create a vision board every month, but actually what I got into it and started playing with these watercolors, I had so much fun that I decided no. Let me see. There's one thing. I'm going to cover this up a little bit here. So this is my goddess of the year. I've drawn her. I kind of drew her naked, so I'm covering her up so that no one gets offended by that. So I just made a card of my goddess of the year, actually, and if you are interested in having a goddess of the year, I'll put the link in the description box down below. A wonderful, wonderful goddess woman by the name of Amy Palco does these drawings, and she gives you a breadth of information about the particular goddess, some journaling prompts, some ideas on how to connect with her. And so that's what I put on this page. And then I just put her name here. And as I continue to work with her, as Lilith brings me more insights during the course of the year, I'll write that information in here. I've picked a word of the year, and I'm not quite ready to reveal it yet because I'm still playing with it. But you can see that I just painted the colors, painted the page. I love the crinkly quality that that the Hobonichi pages have after writing on it, after drawing with it, the watercolors on it. And then I've done my top 5 values for the year. These are the things that these are kind of my guiding principles for the year. What I really want to focus on as I'm creating my goals and dreams for this year. I want to focus on my health, on friendships, on self-determination, more on spirituality, and having adventures. And on this page, I actually, again, used my Neuland art markers. This is what they look like. They're water-based, so they're really, really fun to play with, and they're very vibrant. And then I started just drawing in things. I haven't necessarily colored in everything yet. The Lunar New Year, which starts in February, it's the year of the dog, and so I wanted to write down the themes, and I put my little bookmark here to remind me that this is the next page that I need to come back to. I took all of those values that I did here, and so you see I put the little doodles here, so I incorporated them all into one drawing. This is going to be a 5-year for me, so I put this page in here. The way that I use numerology, you can either use it at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of your personal year, which would be your birthday. And so that's kind of how I roll with numerology. I find it's easier for me to kind of create opportunities for me to really have a different new year throughout the course of the year instead of the arbitrary January 1st date, right? So as I get closer to my 5-year, then I will fill this particular page in. And then I looked at not the oracle, I looked at the tarot cards, and this I actually just tuned into it and decided to use it at the beginning of the year. So again, using the numerology system, I figured out that my tarot card of the year was the 14 card. Last year was 13, which actually, if you look at it, 4 plus 1 equals 5. So you could do it either way, but I chose, like I said, to do it at the beginning of the year. And I just looked at this in relation to my word of the year, and I just wrote myself a little note here on the 10th of January. And on this other page, I will just tune into at the end of each quarter just to put a few words here or a couple sentences here to just notice how that card is unfolding and see if it's unfolding any differently than I thought it at the beginning of the year. So far that's all for these informational type of pages. I am just leaving all of this space open because I know or I feel as though I'm going to put some more information here as I start working with my dreams and goals. And then on the coming up page, I did do my oracle card readings of the month. I put in, I've already written them in, and this is where this kind of overlaps with my Hobonichi cousin, which is my everyday carry and my planner. And on the coming up pages in the cousin, I've already written the card, and then I wrote what I think the card means, and then at the end of the month I'll go back in and write how the card actually unfolded. And so right now, I just need to copy. I've already got it in my Hobonichi, so I just need to copy it into this smaller spiritual planner. And then Hobonichi actually did like a New Year's fortune, and so I went there and I resonate so much with this particular, the turtle and the hare, and just the whole slow and steady processing. It's those small steps that you do daily that lead you to your dreams. And so I feel like that's part of what the message is in temperance for me, just to really continue and to be mindful of not of when the boredom sets in, exactly why I am wanting to create in my life what I want to create. And then I have written the moon signs in. Now I have these stickers. I just need to go back, and I told you, I think I shared with you at the end of last year that I had gotten these stickers, and I just thought they were so pretty. And I feel like I bought two packages, and I feel like they go with the kind of watercolor. I think these actually might have inspired me to really want to try playing with watercolors. And so what I've been doing is just like sitting for a few minutes and just if I feel like watercoloring, I feel like watercoloring. I've been what actually that first week in January, what I did was went through and watercolored a bunch of pages, dried them with a blow dryer. But actually, you don't need to dry them with a blow dryer. If you are mindful of how much water you use, they actually dry really quickly. So. And then went back in and just played with. I found a couple of quotes that I liked. I've been working again a lot with my I am spell, and I know I did a video a few years back about it. But this actually came to me when I was reading the Four Agreements, and he talked about how we are casting spells on ourselves all the time. And so one of the ways that you cast spells on yourself is when you say I am and you fill in the blank. And a lot of times we use them against ourselves by saying, pretty negative things. I'm lazy. I'm not good at such and such. I can't. So what I've tried to consciously do is to every day just kind of set my I am spell. What am I? What am I? Who am I? So that's where you can see here where I've just wrote in words bountiful, blissful, beautiful I am. That's my I am spell for that day. And then again, I just watercolor, I played with it just to see what different techniques I can use. I used a different pen here and found out that it was not waterproof. So I'd actually drew in these kind of little sparklers first and then went over and watercolored and was like, whoops, you can see here it's kind of smudged. So I definitely won't be using that pen again. This one, I just was inspired by a quote from the Daily Calm app that I use to help me remember to meditate daily. And the quote was talking about not being so quick to stir the milk in your tea, just watching the milk clouds. And so I just really liked that quote because, tea priestess. So I drew that in and then actually just did a quick little watercolor border. Um, Really just I wanting putting reminders for myself in here. I take responsibility for the energy I allow in my life. Just doing watercolors and doodling. I shared this page on my Instagram feed. Remember who you are. Um, Nothing anybody says about you is true unless you believe it. And so, again, working with my I am spell, I am light, delightful, natural, luminous, I am. And so I just kind of drew some candles to fill in the pages. Again, another quote that I really liked, and just a quick doodle: to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. And that was Nelson Mandela. Your choices liberate or enslave you. And this pertains actually to my word of the year. And then just on Sunday, I started playing a little bit more with the oracle cards. So here I have open. This was, the card actually wasn't open. It was whole brain integration, and so I just wrote open because I wanted to remember that I have to be open to moving my brain, allowing my whole brain to help and support me in my goals. Spark, I drew things that spark you, that can spark and be a spark of inspiration. It only takes a little bitty spark to get you fired up. It takes a little spark to start a fire in a forest. So, if you position yourself with books, being around people, maybe going to seminars. I didn't finish here, left that kind of open for the spark of imagination. But if you position yourself in such a way that you are around people who can spark you into action, then that really just helps you. And then here's today's page. I am creating my after story. It may not be perfect, but I'm gonna create it anyway. I just felt my southern rising up when I was doing this page. And again, I just did a quick little watercolor wash over the page, dried it, and this is me tuning into the new moon, this Capricorn new moon. Looking at the step-by-step processes that I need in order to create the life that I want to live in 2018. So that's it. That's my quick flip through of where I am so far in my Hobonichi as my spiritual planner, my spiritual journal. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new here, I am so glad that you are here. Welcome, welcome. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Take care. See you next week or next time. Bye-bye.